How's it going, Doom Patrollers? Welcome to a brand new Doom Patrol Season 2 update video, but unfortunately, the reason why I haven't been making Doom Patrol videos quite often is because the news is few and far between. I just wish DC Universe, as much as I love you guys, you would market your shows. I mean, because we all know you've filmed multiple episodes now, so where's a poster? Come on, we know it's coming in the next several months. So we need something, but that is why I am here, guys, to bridge that gap between the Doom Patrol content. I mean, we have got some information to talk about, which is the purpose of today's video, but yeah, I'm going to be trying to do this as much as I can, any little tidbit of information on the upcoming season, because this show's amazing. I'm sure you guys want to hear about anything and everything, so that is what today's video is, because, recently we have had some new castings for the show, which teases a season that will introduce multiple villains, and yet again today we have another villain to talk about. So very quickly, if you haven't seen it already, I did do a video around 3 weeks ago now that went over the casting of Dorothy Spinner, who is of course Chief's daughter, and a villain that will be coming to season 2 known as Red Jack. So make sure you're up to speed with that, and then come back to this video just so everything is falling into place nicely, because I will be going over how I think things will fit in with all of this, with all of this hand movement, in the season. So if you happen to be brand new to this channel and you're a big Doom Patrol fan, make sure you subscribe to this channel, just because, literally I will be covering everything that you kind of want to know and is worthwhile. And yeah, why not leave a like on this video just to show your support for Doom Patrol and excitement for Doom Patrol Season 2. So today's video, we're going to be talking about what geeks worldwide have exclusively learned, and that is yet another villain that will be coming to Season 2 known as Dr. Time, spelled with a Y, not an I. The more you know. So as usual, we're going to go over who this character is, just in case you didn't know already, what he does, what his abilities are, and all of that good stuff, and how I think DC Universe's Doom Patrol could adapt his character from the comics into the show. And also, make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because I have something interesting for you Doom Patrol fans to actually take part in a future Doom Patrol video of mine, and I would love to get as many of you involved as I can. So yeah, make sure you stick around to that point, because I want to feature you guys in the next video, and you'll see why. And don't skip to the end, because that's cheating. So who is Dr. Time? I'm sure some of you are asking, and that is Percival Sutter, aka Dr. Time is, yeah, you guessed it, a villain of the Doom Patrols, who has the ability to actually manipulate time through his weapon that emits a ray that freezes objects, or just kind of like in a limited area, in which allows him to commit kind of small crimes such as theft and other things. I would kind of just put him down to a tier of that typical kind of mad scientist with insane intelligent brain power, which, kind of allowed him into that speciality of his being temporal manipulation. He was also a part of the Science Squad, which housed fairly brilliant yet mad-minded individuals such as Dr. Savannah, who I'm sure many of you have heard about, or Dr. Death, and several others. And despite Percival, or Dr. Time, we'll just call him Dr. Time, not exactly being the biggest threat to the Doom Patrol, the funny thing is he often viewed himself as the arch nemesis of the Doom Patrol, which kind of reminds me of some other characters we know. And now if you guys have all watched Doom Patrol, which of course I'm assuming you have if you're watching this Season 2 update video, I'm sure you all kind of realize, just like me, and have already imagined how much of a perfect addition this character could make to an episode of the show, assuming that he isn't reoccurring throughout the season, which, you never know, he may, just like kind of Beard Hunter popped up a few times, and I'm hoping we see Beard Hunter again, come to mention it. I mean, every character in Doom Patrol is just, I want to see them again. But I want to kind of focus on the broader context of this all. And as I said, if you haven't already checked out my previous video, the reason why I wanted you guys to check it out, if you haven't already, is because I go over Red Jack, and now we've got Dr. Time, and this all fits into, what would this season be about? How are these villains fitting in? Are there more villains? And we already know with Doom Patrol Season 2 that we've been told that this season is just going to get weirder, just kind of capitalizing on how well that wackiness of Season 1 did for the show. So I just have so many ideas in how this character could just be used in next season along with the other characters. Also, I'm just sure you can visualize it like me in how Dr. Time, with his use of manipulating time in a person's space-time perception, would just be very useful, a useful way for him to hold his own during whichever episode or episodes of Doom Patrol he appears in. For example, if Cyborg tries to take him out, or Jane with her one of many personas, his ray will freeze time in the area enough for him to get away, which, could lead to many entertaining scenarios. But as I always say, at the same time, I'm sure this won't be a straight ripped out of the pages of the comic book into Doom Patrol. Like, not everything is copy and pasted. That is something I just say so many times on this channel with everything. No matter how amazing Doom Patrol is and how faithful it is to the comic books in many ways, I'm just intrigued as a result of that how Dr. Time will appear and factor into the story of next season, even just appearance-wise, because I'm sure I've shown it at some point in this video, or maybe right now, Dr. Time's appearance is... Well, at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if Doom Patrol go the clock face, but at the same time, they might not. But then again, CGI, you never know, they may do, or even practically. Who knows? I would love to know if you think they're going to do that. So will Red Jack and Dr. Time be connected to the main plot? Like, or more of an in-between episode similar to that of the very entertaining example I always use, the Recreator and Decreator episode, or episodes even, which to be fair, did have Mr. Nobody very much so incorporated into that, if you guys remember, with how he was like narrating and talking to Jane. And the reason why I'm kind of speculating and talking about this now is because we still don't really know too much about what you would call the overarching villain or big bad villain, if you will, of season 2 of Doom Patrol, because season 1 was obviously Mr. Nobody, and season 2 we've just got a few castings now of multiple villains, from at least what we know right now to lesser yet very exciting villains coming to season 2, which does fit for some of my wishes for what I wanted just from season 2 anyway, of which I did make a video about for quite some time ago, but it doesn't exactly fit up to what I was thinking. But at the same time, it still could, because, you know, with TV shows, as I said, doesn't copy and paste, and they like to tread new innovative ground and new stories, so they could still weave these two storylines and create something brand new. So even though I'm pretty sure there is no direct link to Dr. Time or Red Jack or to like the Brotherhood of Evil, I still would love to see them as the overarching big bads of the season, as they are very much so a big part of the comics. They were mentioned many times throughout season 1, with of course Mr. Nobody being a tryhard to have a seat at their table. We knew about them from when the original Doom Patrol faced off against them, to which I will say they are actually quite etched into the core of the show's DNA, all without an actual appearance. So I think it would be great if before the Brotherhood of Evil maybe asserts themselves onto the Doom Patrol in the following season, or whenever they might appear, they might send lesser villains to cause trouble here and there for the team, and perhaps along the way in the season, the twist, or yet again maybe it isn't a twist, that the puppet master behind these villains, such as Dr. Time, Red Jack, and maybe other ones, is in fact the Brain and Monsieur Marla, and maybe the other villains of the Brotherhood of Evil, who have actually been out there in the world, just waiting for that opportune moment ever since he last faced Mento, of which, actually, if you guys remember, the chamber, or brain case if you will, was gathering dust in that episode. So he's out there, I'm just waiting for them to be seen, and I just feel like the reason why it relates to this is because we're getting kind of multiple villains, but at the same time, you could just argue that these are simple castings, just like Beard Hunter, or even just other characters that weren't necessarily heroic in Doom Patrol Season 1. So yeah, of course, I could be completely wrong about this, but I just think that the Brotherhood of Evil have to be included at some point in Doom Patrol, and even if that's not this season, even if it's Season 3, this crime organization would be the perfect pillars of villainy for a season antagonist, and I just think that's, it goes without saying, a recipe for success. But as of right now, what we literally do know about Doom Patrol Season 2 is that we will have the team in Doom Manor dealing with the aftermath of learning about Chief's true intentions behind each one of the characters' origins, which of that was to extend his life to look after his daughter and also protect others from her unique abilities. So we know some of the plot will be attributed to each individual member's reconciliation, if you will, with Niles Calder, and perhaps even taking turns in babysitting Dorothy Spinner, which will make for some certainly interesting episodes. In addition to this, of course, one of Doom Patrol's biggest strengths is their character development, and as already teased by Matt Bomer, there will be more explanation into Larry's backstory, because we all know how kind of deep-rooted that goes. So I'm sure the amazing exploration of the characters we saw in Season 1 will be applied to each and every character, so we know we will have that going on in season 2 as well. But it's just that we now know that we have a couple of villains appearing in season 2 as well without the reasonings behind them. What are they tied to? Like, what are they up to? Because I highly doubt that this very dysfunctional family that we've come to love and adore in this live action iteration of Doom Patrol have just somehow become this superhero crime fighting force when, as of the end of season 1, they were practically separated, only then to unite to save Chief's daughter. So I just can't imagine them literally patrolling to stop these lesser villains such as Red Jack or Dr. Time, and I'm sure some other villains that we'll learn about in the coming weeks and months. So ultimately, guys, with this, I would love to know what you think of Dr. Time. If you checked out my last video on Red Jack and Dorothy Spinner, just add that into it as well. Are you excited for these villains? Do you think there is any remote possibility in how these villains could be connected to a larger big bad who is testing out the Doom Patrol, maybe even the Brotherhood of Evil? Like, I'm just dying to see that happen. Like, they could easily do a CGI gorilla, they could easily do the brain. Man, maybe that just should be reserved for season 3 though. But who knows, they might be behind the curtains of this season. At the very least, I'm still expecting some cameo or kind of Easter eggs just like season 1. But as for what I wanted from you guys in terms of what I teased at the beginning of this video, I think it's time to do a Doom Patrol Q&A, like a generic Q&A. Maybe you want to ask me what I think could be happening in season 2 beyond what I discussed today, what I want to see in Doom Patrol season 2. I'll kind of make it like this big mashup in general, because we're getting some more information as time goes by now and as we get closer to season 2. So I'll be posting that in the community section of my YouTube channel by the time you are seeing this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this dose of Doom Patrol. If you did, just slap a like on this video. It really does show YouTube that you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe, of course, for every Doom Patrol update, whether it's small or big or major. This is the place for that. Other than that, guys, if you want to talk about more Doom Patrol with me, join my Discord server. We have a little Doom Patrol community there in the off season and many other shows that we discuss. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Doom Patrollers in the next video. Goodbye.